The Nerdgasm Talk podcast is brought to you by Spaces Philly. If you love podcasts, go to spacesphilly.com where you can check out Lulu and Pop, Both Sides, Turntables, Jump Thought Super Tongue, and the Nerd Coalition's very own No Gimmicks Needed. Visit spacesphilly.com today. And now, feel the Nerdgasm.
One thing I want to talk about, which we didn't, because we didn't have a show last week, is I know I'm bringing the mood down, but I will definitely put it back up. The ALEC Baldwin incident that happened on the set of the new movie that he's supposed to be doing, where he accidentally killed, was it the cinematographer and shot, and then the director got shot.
Director or something.
Huh?
Didn't he graze the director or something?
Yeah, he got stuck in his shoulder. Yeah, actually.
Oh, I thought it was a graze. Oh my god. Okay.
No, yeah. So, I just wanted to bring attention to that because this is like, for anybody who was alive back in the early 90s, we had a star named Brandon Lee, and Brandon Lee was doing, who's Bruce Lee's son, and Brandon Lee was doing a scene from his movie The Crow, which Sting, if anybody watches wrestling, knows where Sting got the inspiration from. And they were doing a scene, and then I'm not gonna look. They got a picture. Not a picture. Damn, see, Prime sent me a picture. It threw me off. They was on the scene, and he was getting shot in the scene, and it turned out they had a live round in the gun, killing Brandon Lee.
I'm sorry.
No, that was the worst timing ever.
Worst.
I'm sorry. I saw the thing.
Didn't I say I wasn't gonna look at the picture?
I'm so sorry.
I saw it already. It's big facts.
Oh god.
As soon as I was saying it, Prime sent me the picture. I said,
I sent it before you even said I'm gonna get the mood down. I sent it before that.
Oh god, I'm so sorry.
And here's the thing. And y'all heard me say I'm not gonna look at it right now because I knew if I had looked at it.
You mean you don't want to see Buzz going to Flavor Town?
No. Don't stop laughing. Yo, and I was sorry, and of course, Q-Flow timing is impeccable as always.
Absolute worst.
So unfortunately, that incident happened here again on the set of the movie that he was playing, and that is unfortunate.
But see, here's my question. I mean, one, the person who is like in charge of safety on the set, this falls like squarely in their lap because that's your whole job.
Kinda, yes, but also they had like 2 or 3 people quit because of that same reason.
Well, because the guy wasn't doing his job, right?
No, because of safety concerns.
Okay, so and that's my thing. I'm like, bruh, Brandon Lee happened at this point, like almost, what was it, 25, 30 years ago?
1992, I think it was.
Almost 30 years ago. Why are we still dealing with the same? Like, I understand people quitting because they were concerned, but I'm like, so who regulates this? Who would have come in and stopped it if they weren't locking down the set like they were supposed to, like doing everything they were supposed to?
So here's the thing. So when people was having issues with safety concerns, right? I'm trying to think. So did they feel that the people that was in charge of the guns were not checking them right, or was
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, because from what I saw, the little bit that I saw, it sounded like they already had a feeling like something was not right. People was probably playing fast and loose with the weapons, because the reason that, if I remember correctly, the reason Brandon Lee passed, or was killed, is because they were, back in the day, I guess they didn't have blanks. Like, they didn't have proper blanks.
You know, it's funny. We watched this Unsolved Mystery show how many times with the Brandon Lee?
Yeah.
And they broke that whole thing down.
I'm pretty sure they said
Probably trying to say she wasn't paying attention then.
They didn't dump all of the gunpowder out. So every time they did
a fragment.
Yeah. Every time they did the take, it was more and more, like it pushed it further and further, and it got lodged in the gun or something like that. And I'm just like, bruh, after an incident like that, how are there not regulations that you had to follow in the first place?
There is, but the person has to enforce them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that it's not shutting down like production, or at least getting this person fired if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Oh man. You know, like
somebody's
I said,
going to jail for this, and it ain't Alec Baldwin. That's all I know.
Oh,
well, I mean, not necessarily if they don't choose to.
Well,
yeah, they might not press charges.
But you know what is hurting is, how could this be his fault?
It's not his fault.
Yeah.
It's not.
But I will say this is one of those incidents where I'm like, I wish the internet did not move so quickly, because I was like, y'all.
I try my hardest not to look.
I was like, can we not make jokes about this lady dying? Like, on a set, like doing her job. She's not even part of the movie. She's a cinematographer.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, even if they don't decide to press charges, whoever was the person who was in charge of safety on the set should definitely be.
Yeah, in charge of safety
at this point.
Safety, and also the charge about when it comes to, you know, who's in charge of, like, they gotta be held accountable for not checking the weapons. You know,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you should be blackballed. There's no way you should be able to get work in this industry again, as like the person who is in charge of the safety of everyone on the set, especially if there's supposed to be weapons used. Mm-hmm. And I think I saw the fallout from that is a couple other shows decided they were going to take live weapons out of the show. And I was like, why are we still using live weapons on sets?
They want to get that effect.
Mm.
But you know,
even though because they want to do it more practical than CGI, which is like okay,
yeah,
I guess
you can tell. You can probably tell when it's CGI, but I'm like, at this point, all right, but. So what do you do? It's like, all right, we're going to take live weapons out of the rotation for this show or whatever. It's like, okay, that's a precaution, but does that also mean that y'all don't trust your safety person too? I'm confused. Like, I don't know. Sometimes stuff be performative.
I mean, it is, and I hope they... I really hope these people, you know, to get fired, and then, you know, they're held accountable for their action, because nobody should lose a life like this.
Like, just getting up and going to work.
So basically, what I assume is what happened is like, because I've heard they were like doing, you know, free time, whatever. They would shoot bottle cans and stuff. Uh-huh. So I'm assuming after they shot the bottle cans, nobody went back to go check to make sure everything was right. They just shot the bottle cans and then put the guns down and then didn't mess with them until it was time to shoot again. It's like you gotta check after every single time somebody touches the weapon.
Every time the weapon discharged, it should be checked.
No, every time it's touched at all. Not discharged. Every time it's touched.
Oh yeah.
Because we had.
Well, first of all, they should be left unattended in the first place. But go ahead.
Well, it's adults. There's no kids on the set, so what? You know, okay. You can leave it there and not expect somebody to just randomly pick it up and start shooting. But we did one scene with a gunshot, and it was like you would have thought Osama was there. Because of how safety precaution was. So that's why I'm saying, like, they was like making sure you can't like go in this area. You know, nobody ain't supposed to be in here. You can't touch it. After you touch it, person got to come in and check it. Even if you just pick it up, somebody got to check it. You got to check everything. So I guess they just weren't doing it. So I guess the person who was in charge of was being lazy. Or whatever the case was.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like if that's the case, it sounds like they was playing fast and loose with the weapons. Why y'all shooting shit in between takes?
Hey, they was out in the middle of nowhere. So
literally, I was like, "What movie is this?" I didn't know Alabama had a movie coming out.
Look, in the middle of nowhere, I can understand shooting bottles, but not checking them and putting them back is like, all right, well, because. Alec Baldwin is not Alec Baldwin's only shooting the weapons. He put the gun down and then go do something else. They supposed to have people come in and check after them, after the people that's using these stuff, even if they're using it for fun. The inspector is supposed to come after everybody using this stuff and check it. So when you don't check it, stuff happens.
Yeah, but also they're supposed to. I don't know. I heard that they're not even like, as far as like prop guns, they're supposed to like not add the usual amount of like gunpowder. Like it's that intricate.
Prop
So
gun is
Huh?
a prop gun is depending on whatever you have. It's like it's not supposed to be. It's the type of fragment. It's the type of fragment. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
Some of them want you to make a little of that popping sound. Depending on what type of gun they want to make it, the smoke pop out of it, or they want to make the fire.
So I had those revolvers back in the day. They were doing a Western type thing. Yeah.
So yeah.
My biggest,
Who wants to watch a Western in 2021 though?
Hold on now.
Other than you.
Because I still go watch the Hateful Eight.
Watching Westerns.
I'm about to say that. Hold on now. The Harder They Fall about to come out now.
The Hateful Eight came out.
But I'm saying in 2021, I'll go back and watch the Hateful Eight. If they come out with movies like that.
I'm saying the Harder They Fall, that new Black Western, is it out already or is it coming out?
I think it might be.
Oh, the joint that's in North Philly?
No, I seen Concrete Cowboy already.
How was that?
It's not in my best of 2021, but
was that 2021?
Yes.
I thought it was 2020. Damn.
No, 2021.
There's a snake in my boot. You really all over again.
I don't know. I want to see the Harder They Fall. It's just been kind of. It's like.
You've been hearing good things about it, have you?
I've been hearing. Okay.
Musically, I heard something dope about it, but I can't remember what
it was. More so the first thing I heard about the movie was the fact that they cast Zazie Beetz as Stagecoach Mary, who was real life heavyset dark skinned woman. That was the first thing I heard about the movie. That's not something you wanna go into it. Back to this question.
Yeah.
Do you think the movie comes out still?
Sheesh, you know what? I don't.
I think it do.
It will.
It come out. They're gonna put in memoriam to Mary.
Yeah.
Or whatever her name is.
I'm just curious. I'm like.
Well, I mean, after the investigation, yeah, because I know they probably gonna try. I hope they try to throw us on Alec Baldwin, but I'm just saying
they're not going to. It's gonna go through.
They're not going to.
No, it's gonna go through a chain of.
The only people that'll put it on Alec Baldwin.
There's a lot of people who touched that gun before Alec Baldwin.
Exactly.
Media is the only people that put it on him. But like the actual examiners and all that, they know. Like they know.
They know what they're doing. What they're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the media people, Alec Baldwin just shot somebody.
I mean, well, technically, Alec Baldwin did shoot
he
somebody.
He did, but the way that they was making it seem like
they bring it seem like he walked in with the Glock and
yeah, they make Glock they like it was like he has a history of attitude problems and he doesn't like the media and he's got attitude problem. I'm like, that had nothing to do with this accident though.
It got nothing to do with it at all.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Glock Anderson.